Dinosaurs are well known for their enormous size and strength. Even if some of them were small like Compsognathus, they all had one thing in common, which was their enormous brains. Here are 5 real facts about dinosaurs that were very intelligent. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos. Triceratops was not only a smart dinosaur, but also stubborn. In a study published in April 2022, researchers have found out that Triceratops was not willing to move unless it wanted to. It turns out that this dinosaur with 3 horns was probably the most stubborn dinosaur of all time. Scientists used a large collection of trackways left behind by herds of dinosaurs, migrating across what is now Utah. The tracks include at least 2,000 footprints from hundreds of individuals, ranging from infants to adults. Researchers have studied the direction of their movement to determine how these creatures behaved when they walked together. Some groups moved purposefully in one direction, while others were more chaotic. According to lead author Dr. Katie Bars, Triceratops traveled in large groups, but they weren't a tight-knit marching band. They were more like a crowd at an airport. You get a lot of individuals wandering around aimlessly. Overall, there seems to be a fair amount of independent movement. When traveling in herds, the dinosaurs did not follow a set route. Instead, they explored several alternative paths simultaneously. This suggests that these dinosaurs were highly intelligent. Why? Because they could solve problems independently. However, they were also stubborn because they refused to change their routes, unless the individuals strongly preferred a different path. That is why scientists think that Triceratops was one of the most intelligent dinosaurs, but also the most stubborn. Ankylosaurus was smarter than you thought. Ankylosaurus was a herbivorous dinosaur that lived during the late Cretaceous period between 78 and 76 million years ago. Fossil remains of this animal were discovered in North America, and they show that Ankylosaurus was a kind of mammal-like reptile. This dinosaur was easily recognizable due to its appearance. It was covered with large bony plates and sharp spines that acted as armor against predators. It also had a long, pointed tail that it used as a weapon. The skull of Ankylosaurus was small compared to its huge body, and it had strong, sharp teeth for crushing plants. But do you know that this dinosaur also had a remarkable brain? A new study published in the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology suggests that Ankylosaurus was much smarter than previously thought. The researchers examined 2 nearly complete skulls and found that the brain of Ankylosaurus was relatively large compared to its body size. The authors of the study believe that this dinosaur may have been capable of complex social interactions, learning new things and adapting to changing environments. These abilities allowed Ankylosaurus to survive for more than 3 million years and live across the continent. So don't underestimate the power of a small brain. Sometimes it can be as useful as a big brain. Giganotosaurus would choose his meal carefully. Giganotosaurus was a carnivorous dinosaur that lived in what is now Patagonia, Argentina. It was first described in 1982 and was one of the largest land predators of all time. This dinosaur was over 40 feet long and weighed almost 9 tons. Its name translates to giant southern lizard. It was closely related to Tyrannosaurus rex and lived during the late Cretaceous period between 97 and 94 million years ago. Scientists recently learned that Giganotosaurus carolinensis was actually a more sophisticated hunter than we thought. A team of researchers from the University of Texas at Austin used computer modeling to reconstruct the hunting behavior of Giganotosaurus. The study was published in the journal PNI. The scientists found that this dinosaur hunted by stalking its prey, then chasing it down at high speed and catching it with its jaws. They also found that Giganotosaurus preferred to hunt medium-sized animals instead of very large ones. Why? Because it saved energy. The scientists say that the preferred prey of Gigantosaurus weighed between 3 and 6 tons. It's not exactly clear why the giant predator chose medium-sized prey instead of larger animals. Maybe it was easier for him to catch them, or maybe they tasted better. Who knows? Scientists think that Giganotosaurus hunted alone. Like other large predators, he didn't need a partner to get food. But sometimes a lone hunter is no match for a flock of herbivores. Just ask a lion. The herd behavior of ornithomimids was similar to that of modern birds. Ornithomimids were strange dinosaurs that resembled a mix between a camel and a horse. They had long necks, long tails, and 2 legs, but they were not very tall. Some species were less than 4 feet tall, while others reached 10 feet. Ornithominid fossils have been found in Asia, Europe, Africa, and North America. They were omnivores who ate plants and animals. But the most interesting thing about these creatures was their intelligence. A recent study published in the journal Acta Paleontologica Polonica suggests that ornithomimids displayed complex social behaviors, including cooperative breeding, where several individuals take care of offspring collectively. Scientists have studied the isotopic composition of dinosaur eggs to gain insight into their reproductive strategies. Lead author Dr. Weizam Ma says that ornithomimids were highly gregarious dinosaurs. They lived in large groups and took care of each other's young. Their nesting colonies were made up of dozens of nests grouped together. Ornithomimids were probably one of the few dinosaurs that laid multiple clutches of eggs per year. They also shared childcare duties and may have had seasonal mating displays. All these behaviors suggest that ornithomimids were very intelligent. In fact, their behavior was similar to that of modern birds. Brachiosaurus was very sociable. Brachiosaurus was a sauropod dinosaur that lived during the late Jurassic period in what is now North America and Europe. It was one of the largest animals that ever lived. Brachiosaurus was over 26 feet long and weighed up to 60 tons. This dinosaur had a very long neck that it used to reach high plants. But do you know that Brachiosaurus was also very sociable? A recent study published in the journal PNA suggests that this gentle giant spent most of his life surrounded by friends. Scientists analyzed the isotopic composition of the teeth of several Brachiosaurus specimens. The study focused on carbon and oxygen isotopes, which can reveal aspects of an animal's diet and habitat. The results showed that Brachiosaurus preferred to eat aquatic plants and that they congregated in large groups to access the best feeding grounds. Lead author Dr. Rebecca Hunt says that Brachiosaurus lived in herds of hundreds of individuals. These dinosaurs migrated seasonally to find the tastiest plants, and they probably used sophisticated communication methods to coordinate their movements. In fact, the researchers believe that Brachiosaurus were one of the most intelligent dinosaurs because they needed to cooperate to survive. Hunting such a large creature was a risky business. That's why Brachiosaurus probably developed complex defense strategies and communication systems to warn each other of danger. Unfortunately, we still know very little about the intelligence of dinosaurs. Maybe one day we'll discover that they were even smarter than we think. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for new videos.